Spanking children is a split topic. Some people say it's abuse, others say it's just discipline. Legally, in many places, it's fine so long as it leaves no mark. In my opinion, anyone who thinks it's just discipline has never faced it and would likely abuse their children one way or another. It's really hard to rebuild a personality after decades of that sort of treatment. A parent who lets their child do whatever they want. This could be argued by some it isn't the parent directly harming the child, but lax parenting can be almost worse than strict parenting. It lets the child get into potentially dangerous and deadly situations. Our children are a blessing and the Lord has given us. Our children represent innocence and joy in that cruel world. Our children are the bright future that will light up our darkness when we grow up. They're a symbol of our security, tenderness, and passion. Therefore, we must take care of our own children and take care of everything in order to make them good children and benefit their society. There's no doubt that at the time, divorce rates became very high in many countries of the world due to many reasons, one of the most important of which is the lack of understanding between husband and wife when a quarrel occurs between them, and thus their child falls as a victim in the hands. This is exactly what happened with Camilla and her husband, Tom. And the victim is their innocent son, Aaron. Tom is a very wealthy man who owns a chocolate factory. He lives in Russia. He loves design and fashion very much. Many people work in his company because it's very luxurious. As for Camilla, she's a very beautiful girl who's very obsessed with fashion. She's a Russian girl. She designs many distinctive and charming designs. Camilla decided to work in that field because she loves it very much, because she also found herself in it. Camilla went to the company owned by Tom in order to work there. She met Tom and talked to him, saying, "My name is Camilla. I designed many unique outfits. Let me show you my designs." After that, she showed him all her unique designs. Tom likes Camilla a lot because she has good taste in clothing design. He said to her, "I want to tell you that you're a very beautiful girl and I'm glad I saw you. You're also talented and you design unique receipts that no one has done before. I'm glad that she'll work here in my company." Several days passed and Tom liked Camilla very much because she's a special girl and a great tested. Tom has clearly fallen in love with Camilla. He asked her to go to the cafe and talk after work, and she agreed. They went to the cafe and talked, and Tom decided to express his love for her, saying, "I feel like I've fallen in love with you, Camilla." Camilla replied, "I also like you a lot. We really took a lot to each other." Then there was the sound of a baby screaming at the table where Tom was sitting with the baby crying so loudly that Max was very upset. He said to Camilla, "Sorry, I didn't hear you." "Well, because of that crying baby. I hate babies so much. They're really annoying. I never want to have children." Camilla replied, "But I love children very much. I'm the exact opposite of you and that children are the joy of life." Camilla replied, "Children are not our topic. Now tell me how you feel about me. Does your heart really love me? I'm so glad you like me too." They talked a lot and then they left the cafe. They go out a lot and finally Tom decides to ask her to marry him, saying to her, "I have not found someone like you that's suitable for me to marry you. You are my precious jewel that I want to keep you to marry you." Camilla replied, "I agree because I also love you so much." Camilla loves children very much and wants to have a child, but she's never spoken to Max about it again, which is wrong. Who are to get married should talk to each other about their future, about children. They should talk about the children and whether they want to have children or not. They should understand each other more and not be in a hurry to get married. This mistake Camilla made because she didn't speak to him again about it. The husband's refusal to have children is not an easy matter for a woman who dreams of motherhood and children. However, it's a serious matter and will entail many decisions, so the woman must think carefully before making any decision. Tom and Camilla got married, and it was a very wonderful wedding party. They're so happy together. They live in a house next to the hill, next to the road. Camilla allows that frost a lot, and so does Tom, because they go skating easily. Unfortunately, this overwhelming happiness was not permanent. Life forces us to face difficult situations that force us to become other people. Life makes us to be other people we don't want to be. Camilla wants to have a baby, but Tom refuses. Camilla talked to him about it, but it's getting late. She should have spoken to him at first. Before marriage. Camilla spoke to Tom and said to him, "I want us to have a beautiful child like you." Tom replied, "I hate children. They're very annoying. Do you remember that crying child who was crying in the cafe? He's a very annoying child. The idea of having a child is impossible." We're young now, and we're very old. I want to enjoy life. Perhaps these children will be bad and bring us troubles and problems, even if we raise them well. Camilla was very angry about it. The husband's rejection of the idea of having children is a very difficult matter for his wife. One of the tips for dealing with a husband who doesn't want to have children is to discuss with the husband calmly. However, Camilla never spoke to him calmly because she was very angry with him. Without her husband's knowledge, Camilla decided not to take the pill in order to get pregnant. She decided to force her husband to the child. She'll pretend that the pregnancy happened suddenly. Many months passed, and in those months, Camilla never took birth control pills. One day Camilla felt very tired, and she went with her friend to the doctor, and the doctor told her that she was pregnant. Camilla is restless and hesitant. She's very happy that she's finally pregnant and she'll have a beautiful child to pamper. On the other hand, she's very afraid to tell her husband because she did it without his consent or even his knowledge. She was pregnant for 4 months and didn't tell him. She noticed that her stomach had become large, so she decided to tell him while she was afraid. That day was very cold and it was raining. She went to her husband, frightened, saying to him, "I want to tell you something very important." The husband replied, "Why, your face looks so pale. What's wrong with you?" "Tell me," she replied, "4 months ago I found out I was pregnant. I was afraid to tell you so you wouldn't get angry. I don't know how I got pregnant because I always took birth control pills every day. I got pregnant very suddenly." Tom was amazed and stunned, telling her, "How did you get pregnant and take your birth control every day? It's weird. You must have done that. I don't know anything. Why did you hide that news for me, Camilla?" Camilla replied, "I didn't say, because I'm so afraid of you, and because I love children and I know you don't like them." Tom replied, "I refuse to have a child. I don't want any responsibilities at all. I don't want you to have a child to suffer in this town." Camilla replied, "Why do you say that the child will suffer? We'll raise him and take care of him. We'll provide him with all the atmosphere and love, tenderness, security, and safety. He'll never suffer." Tom replied, "We all suffer. I don't want him to suffer like me. I never want him to be in trouble. I don't want a piece of my soul to suffer in that lost world. You must do an abortion right now." Tom is doing very strange things. He's clearly a mentally disturbed person. He's not a normal person at all, and that's what made Camilla afraid. In fact, Tom has been in psychotherapy for years as a psychiatrist. He has a complex since his childhood because of his father. Tom's father used to beat him so hard that Tom hated having a child. He didn't tell Camilla that he was in psychotherapy so that she would not refuse to marry him. Camilla is very afraid of Tom and doesn't say anything to him at first because she was thinking. Camilla then said, "I'm not going to do the abortion. I want that baby that will light my darkness." Tom replied, "I'm warning you, if you give birth to that child, it will be the end of you." Camilla immediately she ran and took her car and went to the house and her friend Susie. Camilla was very afraid of Tom because he broke many things in the house and she was staring at very hard and she was terrified of him because of evil looks at her. She said to her friend, "Susie, I feel he's going to kill me. I feel I'm never safe. I'll stay with you until I have my child. After that, we'll travel to escape from the psychopath. I don't know how I loved him." So many months passed. And Camilla gave birth to a very beautiful baby named Aaron. That innocent child will fall victim, but in the end, he'll live in safety. When Tom learns that Camilla has given birth, he immediately goes to the friend's house. Camilla takes her child and gets into the car. She's driving in that snow very fast and very dangerous. Tom follows her in his car and says to her loudly, "I will kill you and your child." Camilla is afraid for her child so much that she threw him out of the car so Tom wouldn't kill him. Unfortunately, Camilla later died because she was driving too fast. That poor mother died, leaving her baby on the road alone. As for Tom, he killed himself. He deserves this tragic end. When Camilla threw her baby Aaron into the grass, something very strange happened. There was a horse in that road, and it took the child to another place. It's very strange that this baby was saved. Thanks to the horse, an animal can be kinder than a human. Fortunately, there was a man and his wife on the hut at the time. They saw the horse taking care of the child. Then they took that innocent child. And these couples never had children. They decided to raise that innocent child. Aaron, the story teaches us many things. We should never rush and trust all people around us because we should understand our partner more. We should certainly understand each other more so as to not cause us any suffering. since Camilla didn't know that Tom was mentally disturbed.